Hello and welcome back to the Mancalorians, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host Jordan. This is episode 7, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host and good friend Aaron, aka Mr. Thumbman. Today, what have you done?
You're so mean. You're so mean.
What
I
have you
did
done?
I did manual fail with my razor, and it just didn't look right, so I shaved it all off.
That baby face has come out, but it's all
No,
good
no,
because
don't, please don't. I can feel my chin now, and it doesn't feel right.
Oh, brilliant. Anyway, we've got a lot to get stuck into today. We're going to cover the Acolyte episode 4. I still can't get over that ending. We're going to cover the full episode. There will be spoilers, so this is the disclaimer. If you're watching, if you're listening to us, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't watched it yet, then probably would wait a few more days. Just ignore us. But yeah, we're going to cover the episode. We'll break it all down. Yeah, let's... Actually, no, before we get stuck into the breakdown, you can subscribe to us via our YouTube channel. You can watch the podcast via our YouTube channel, The Mancalorians. Please subscribe to us. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. We appreciate everybody that's done that so far, so thank you very much. Or if you prefer listening to your podcasts, you can also listen to us via Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Podcasts as well. Just search The Mancalorians and we will be on there on a weekly basis. And as always, you can follow us on all the socials at The Mancalorians. Give us a follow, daily content, all the reviews, debates, everything's on there. Memes, the full works, give us a follow. We really do appreciate it. So, episode 4. We're now halfway through the first season, maybe, of The Acolyte. It had a wild ending. We'll get to that in a moment. Twitter's absolutely wild. Obviously, the episode came out last night. You watched it last night. Mm-hmm. I watched it a few hours ago, earlier today. And yeah, there's a lot to unpack. First off, should we talk about a little cameo appearance, which we were told wasn't going to happen? But yeah, what did you think of Mr. Ki-Adi-Mundi returning?
I'm not that bothered, to be honest.
Oh, good response. I mean, he didn't have much. He was in it. He was. So if you haven't watched it yet, it was. Ignore us. But if you have watched it, then yeah, Ki-Adi-Mundi appeared at pretty much at the start of the episode, said a few lines, didn't really offer anything of substance to the episode, but it was interesting to see a cameo, because all this time I thought, oh, it's going to be Plo Koon. We've seen one of his species. It might be Plo Koon, it might not be. I've been saying all this time, Plo Koon's coming back, but no, Ki-Adi-Mundi came out of nowhere. So that was a bit of a surprise. But it was nice to see a little,
I looked at him.
It didn't add anything, but it was a younger version.
I looked at him and was like, is that him?
Yeah, well, you didn't even click on that first, did you? I told you like 2 hours ago. You didn't even know.
Well, I assumed it might. Well, listen, the thing is, they never referenced him.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned his name.
No, and he just spoke and then he vanished, and I was like, meh.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've seen him. The last few hours on Twitter has been absolutely carnage. There's a lot of haters. They just go over the top, as people do. We appreciate that everybody's going to like everything Star Wars, and that's absolutely fine. But when you start abusing people and crossing that line, it just gets a bit silly and unwanted. And it's funny because a lot of the so-called big Star Wars fans at the moment, today, all on Twitter the last few hours, massive outrage. How can Ki-Adi-Mundi be in it? Blah, blah, blah. It turns out, so I've been reading that he wasn't born until 40 years after the events of the Acolyte. So therefore, how could he be in this series? People are saying it's an absolute disgrace. It's an insult to George, etc., etc. And then you've got things like the Wikipedia, who have dedicated so much of their time over the last 10 to 15 years, literally given us an encyclopedia of Star Wars canon and legends. They don't have to do it; it's just something they've done, and they've given us so much, and a lot of us we go back to to Wikipedia to reference so many different things. And again, they've spent so much time and effort with building that platform. It's incredible. And then you've got people just abusing them because apparently, I've not looked at it, but apparently it's true, where Wikipedia has changed the birth date of Ki-Adi-Mundi to match with the Acolyte because it broke canon or whatever. So you've got a load of idiots, in my opinion, just going over the top. Personally, I mean, even whether it was true or not, whether he was born 40 years or 40 years before, 40 years after, to me, that is just very nitpicky. To me, that doesn't bother me at all. But what are your thoughts on that?
What, in terms of the community?
Yeah, but mainly the fact that Ki-Adi-Mundi was born 40 years after the Acolyte, and the fact that Wikipedia have just updated it like today to match with the Acolyte timeline. So basically, it's to cover their own backs. It's to erase what everyone's saying. It's not true, but true or not, what? Who cares? If that's like the biggest problem with a Star Wars show or any show, then you need to get a life.
Yeah, I don't care. I think you have. So maybe, right, that his birth date was legend. That was the one that they had on there, and it was like legend. And now that it's been canonized, maybe they've changed it for that reason. Is that wrong? Yeah. No, it's not wrong. Do you know what I mean? People just need to stop, just accept for what it is. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Move on. But if you do like it, then, either put up and shut up, or just stop. Because at the end of the day, like this, it kind of goes back to the really toxic community when Obi-Wan come out, and we were talking about it the other day, and people just like they spiral and then they wind themselves up and then they just make things 10 times worse than it needs to be. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. And we don't claim, neither you or I do not claim that we know everything about Star Wars. There's so much that we don't know. We know a lot, but there's so much that we don't know, and we're always constantly learning, and that's the great thing about Star Wars. And these haters, right, these so-called big Star Wars fans that have gone online today, or the last 24 hours on Twitter, and start abusing people and just going over the top. Like, I've just made a couple of notes, and these are all. I've brought my receipts. I always bring my receipts, guys. Right. So, Ki-Adi-Mundi's age was never actually established in canon. Ages can differ from legends to canon, and it's been done before. And then I wrote, Qui-Gon was 60 when he died in Legends, right? But in canon, he was 48. So where's the big uproar with that? Why is no one talking about that? They aren't, because a lot of fans, haters or non-haters, they don't know about that. But if these haters, if they did know about that, it might make them think, actually, okay, no, I'm not gonna write that. I'm not gonna be someone like that because I sound silly now because I love Qui-Gon, canon, I love it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like
it goes back to what we were saying. It goes back to what we were saying in the last episode, though, when we talked about the twins. I was like, people comment, but don't do the research. Like, if people do research, then they can have a solid argument. But if they don't, then what's the point? Like, I don't claim to know anything. I just have my own opinions, and I'll voice them. And do you know what? Sometimes I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I hold my hands up, and that's it. Just accept it and move on. But I have my own opinions. I can like things and dislike things, but I don't have to be like an absolute spoon about it. Do you know what I mean?
No, and it's like people are trying to find the smallest excuses to hate for absolutely no reason. Like, if you don't like it, fair enough. Just don't watch it. You don't have to try and push your hatred towards someone or on someone, and the fan base is so toxic at times, and it's just unnecessary. And another big thing as well for these haters. I hope the haters are watching, to be honest, or listening to us, because again, I come with receipts. We come with receipts, right? George Lucas himself doesn't consider EU or Legends as part of his world or works. Like, people seem to think, I know a lot of the Legends stuff is now being canonized, right? But if George doesn't, then we shouldn't either. Unless you've got, it's like they're just nitpicking for no reason. And it's like, I think we forget, or sometimes people forget, a lot of these haters are forgetting that you almost need to. Well, not almost. It's true. You need to see Star Wars canon and Star Wars Legends as two completely different things. Because again, I know a lot of the Legend stuff has become canonized, but they're two completely different things. Like they're almost two franchises, and George said that in his own words. So when people say, "Oh, this is a disgrace to George Lucas," blah blah blah, it's not, because George wouldn't agree with you, because George himself literally never read any Legends books, and he's never read any Legends books. And he said a while ago, and I'm never going to read them because it's not my world, it's not my work. Like, they're two completely different things. And I think people, sometimes understandably, they think, oh, Star Wars is under all one umbrella, but it's not. The two completely different franchises, and I think we need to remind people that, you know, Star Wars canon and Star Wars Legends, two completely different franchises almost, and you need to see it that way.
I think it's similar to how my approach to the books. So, for instance, there was a big uproar, wasn't there, when they released Tales of the Jedi and the Ahsoka book, because one of them doesn't follow the other. They're very different. They're similar, but they're different, right? And there was a big uproar about that. And my whole perspective on it is the same as any other franchise that gets made. There's the books, and then there's the film or the TV show. There's loads I can name: Harry Potter, Game of Thrones. Like, you know, you've got even the Marvel comics. Like, they've got a massive fan base. You don't see people kicking up a fuss about that. Do you know what I mean? And there's so many different stories and variations. And I think sometimes we kind of forget that it's fine to accept one and accept the other, but, you know, you choose which one you like. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you choose which one's your truth. So, for instance, like going back to the books and going back to the TV series or the films, like, you know, one will be different than the other, and it's up to you to choose which one you prefer. There's nothing wrong with that. But people seem to think there is a massive issue.
Yeah, there's no issue. I've just made another note here. So, going back to Ki-Adi-Mundi. Ki-Adi-Mundi only has a known birth date in Legends, which I touched on before. So his species only have known lifespans in Legends. You know what else was in Legends? Witches. Don't cherry pick what to be mad at. It's so true. I don't care what anybody says. Like, come on, we've just touched on the Qui-Gon thing. There's a 12-year discrepancy there. Where's the uproar about that?
Hey, you know, well, that's it, isn't it? It was the same. It was the same with the argument last week about the twins being born from the Force. I know people aren't happy about it, but, like, you know, the twins were born from the Force. Anakin was born from the Force, or however. Like, people are now trying to differentiate them because Anakin was the special one. But
say that word again. Differentiate.
Differentiate. What?
Differentiate.
Differentiate. What? I can't even say. How do you?
Anyway, you can't say it. It's just funny.
You know what I mean, though, yeah? Don't make me laugh. All my chins come out, man. I can't hide them anymore.
Into my world. Go
on. Yeah, I can't remember. I've lost my train of thought.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
But yeah, no, I think I was saying that, yeah, people complain about, like, how Anakin's not the special one anymore, and then people are trying to make him the special one by making their own stories up or their own theories in their head, and that's fine. That's you accepting it. But, like, I just think sometimes people get too carried away with it, and then you're right in saying, like, people at the minute are picking and choosing what they like and what they dislike when actually it's been done before. Like, I've literally, it's like deja vu.
We'll keep. Tell you what, we will keep banging this drum and reminding people, because they need to know. Because all this toxicity needs to stop, and just let people enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, that's fine. You're entitled to not enjoy something, but there's just no need for the hatred and the abuse. It's just not necessary. I made another point about this is George himself. Again, back to Ki-Adi-Mundi. His age changed inconsistently in canon during the prequel trilogy. Did you know that? I bet a lot of people don't. I didn't. I made some notes on it before, did some research. So Ki-Adi-Mundi was 63 in The Phantom Menace, and then he was 70 in Attack of the Clones. Now, Revenge of the Sith, obviously the last film in the prequel trilogy, was only 3 years after Attack of the Clones, right? So he was 70 in Attack of the Clones. Therefore, you think, oh, it'd be 73 then in Revenge of the Sith. No, he was 93 in Revenge of the Sith. So he's aged 23 years in 3 years. Again, people obviously, these so-called big Star Wars fans clearly don't know that, because where's the uproar about that? Not that there should be, but it's like, again, it's been done before. There's been so many inconsistencies, so many with George himself in canon. So what? I just don't get it at all. It's mad.
It's just because it's not like what they want. That's all it is. People aren't happy because it's just not what they want.
100%.
But it's the people.
This is an education.
Yeah, but like people complain, but I don't see them writing Star Wars films. I don't see them making Star Wars TV series. I don't see them making anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if they're going to write it better, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. If you think you can write something better or direct something better, be my guest. Go for it, do it, and then we'll give you all the abuse when we don't think it's good. But yeah, I think we've finished with all the
negativity.
Let's talk about the actual episode in more detail. What was the big highlight for you? Apart from the ending, I want to obviously we'll get to the ending in the last towards the end of the episode. But yeah, what were the highlights for you?
It's tough, man. It's tough. I don't know. I just remember watching it and thinking, when's something going to happen? And then I remember going,
not what happened. It was kind of slow. Yeah.
And then I remember going, that shot's from the trailer. That shot's from the trailer. That shot's from the trailer. Oh, that shot's from the trailer, but they edited that person out.
Okay.
So there was a lot.
I mean, I know we talked about that before. I think obviously we're halfway through now, and I think they've pretty much 95% showed us everything in all the trailers and teasers from the first 4 episodes. So 5 to 8 now should be completely fresh, new shots, scenes that we've never seen.
Nah, there's some that we've not seen yet.
I can think of a flashback scene with Kelnacca fighting Torbin. Got onto that. I thought that was going to be this episode, but it's obviously the next one or whatever.
It's obviously a flashback.
Yeah, it's obviously a flashback because obviously we'll get into that in a minute. Should we talk about Qimir? What you thought of him in this episode? Obviously, him and May went off to Kofar, where Kelnacca lives.
Well, I was gonna address the fact that we were talking about the trailer shots and that you said we've seen pretty much all of them, and actually,
any others we've not seen?
Yeah, the one where Sol's fighting and he like lands on the floor and has his lightsaber out, and then the bit where they're fighting.
I'm gonna say that's episode 5.
And then I think it's a flashback scene, episode 5. I think it's gonna be a flashback about Kelnacca. But then we've got the bit where May uses the Force. We think it's May anyway. Uses the Force, picks up a lightsaber, red one.
Yes.
Not seen that scene.
That's true,
and we've also not seen the ship land on that planet that you think is the old temple.
Oh, Actor where Luke was.
Yeah.
But we have seen Actor. What we think of it was in episode 2.
And then we've not seen the spaceship falling through the ice, like the icicle space in space.
Yeah, that's a great scene. Yeah.
And then there's one other scene with.
I didn't ask over the essay.
There's the scene in the jungle where that light, I think it's a jungle or it's like a cave, and the lightsaber's like spinning, like comes back. But I think that'll be in the next episode. I think it'll open with that scene, or it'll open in a flashback.
Right. Okay. Cool. Right. Back to Qimir. He's gone to Kofar with May, where Kelnacca was. Obviously, they're hunting him down. May's master, who you see him is the Acolyte, the Sith. She's told, well, she wants to get revenge on 4 Jedi. She's killed 2. Kelnacca's next. They go to his home world, and then obviously we see all the Jedi Well, I think there's about 8 of them, including Osha. That was a nice shot. What do you think of that shot? Where we see him like in a line. That was a nice shot.
What part?
When the Jedi and Sol and his team just landed on the Kofar, and then they're in a line. They're following Bazil, our new friend Bazil, the little cute, big. He's like I don't even know. He's like a massive hamster or guinea pig or something. It's funny.
Yeah, he was my highlight.
Hashtag Bazil, big up Bazil. What a name, Bazil. Yeah. So he's their sat nav. He's their navigation. Really, he's obviously they're trying to use him to track down, or they were trying to use him to track down May, which was quite funny. But yeah, did you like that shot? I like that shot. They've copied it. What's that film? It's from an old film.
Well, like
the 50s or 40s. It's The Sound of Music or something daft like that, where it's like grass and there's people walking in a line. It's took inspiration from that, I think. I can't remember the film. Might be talking rubbish, but I quite like that shot.
There is grass in The Sound of Music.
There is, you're right. I don't know if it's that film, but
it might be. She dances in a field. That's The Sound of Music, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought you meant the scene where they were all lined up looking over the ridge, like at the planet.
That was a good scene as well. Obviously, we saw that weeks ago.
That was in the trailer.
Yeah, that was a really nice shot.
The shot of Maul walking down that hill where they're all in a line, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the trailer.
It was.
But they edited out Bazil. He wasn't in that, and then they edited out Osha. No. Well, I've not looked back, but if my memory serves me right, he's not in it, and neither's Osha.
Interesting. They're clever how they do that, where they edit out things in the trailer. It's very clever.
I don't know if I like it though. I don't know if I like that.
I do, because we didn't know we were going to see Bazil. I mean, there's a leaked picture of him like a few days ago, or a week ago, that came out. But when the trailer came out, we just thought, I kind of like it. I mean, it's better to add than take away.
Yeah, but they took away though from the trailers, and that's my point. Like when they're making it.
Yeah, you don't want them to give us too much in the trailers.
But it's like fake news though, isn't it? It's not true to what it should be. That's what annoys me, and that's what I was saying like a couple episodes. I don't know if it's smart or if it's not smart, but for some reason the more times that I see something now and I go, they've changed that annoys me.
Interesting. See, I don't pick up on these things. The fact that you are, I mean, everyone's different, but yeah, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, well, so just a couple of highlights. So Qimir, let's talk about Qimir, and let's talk about. Obviously, we mentioned it on the last episode before that we think he might be. Well, he's very cunning. He's very smart. He knows. There's more that he knows that he's not let on yet, that we've not seen or heard. This episode, there's a point where obviously he wanders off. He leaves May, and then we see him again like 10, 15 minutes later. Now I'm at the point now where it's very obvious that to me, it seems quite obvious that, or too obvious that he is the Sith. Yeah, what do you think? Is it too obvious? Did he just want to make us think that he's the Sith, or is he actually the Sith? Like,
I don't know, because I don't actually think they've done anything to make us think he's the Sith. I just think
not even from this episode.
No, not really, because he got hung up and was stuck upside down. But if we follow like Star Wars in general, or like character tropes, or if you like other shows, like if you follow something similar, it's always the dope, always the jester, like that stupid character that no one would expect.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks, yeah. Now he's Darth Jar Jar. Like I just think like no one would expect it to be him. That's why it's going to be him. Now I know what you think it's saying. Maybe it's a bit too obvious. But usually, sometimes there's a quote, and if someone knows this quote, one of my mates told it me in work a while ago, but it translates. I can't remember what the quote is, but it translates to something like, "If it's that obvious, more than likely it's true." Do you know what I mean?
Right. So for me, then it'll be true, but for you, not so much because you don't think it's too obvious.
Well, no, I don't know. I do think it is him though. Like, I'm convinced it's him now. There's a couple of I've got some other theories in mind that it could potentially be, but I think he is the Sith.
What are your theories?
So I think, obviously, so you've got May running in to go and see Kelnacca, right? Sliced, right? Did you notice how it wasn't a stab wound? If it was a stab wound, it would have survived.
Yeah, it looked like a slash, right?
Slashed in half. Yeah.
Right, we'll get there. Right, okay, go on.
So I think with that, why would that person kill Kelnacca? Because it was May's goal, wasn't it? It was like May's thing that she had to do. He tasked her to do these things. We say he. It might not even be a man. It might be a woman. And with that theory, who else would want to seek revenge on those four? I think it could be one of the witches.
Yeah. If it is one of the witches, then it'll be Osha and May's mum, Mother Anastasia, or it'll be Mother Coral.
Yeah, one of them two. Yeah.
I think, but I don't think it's. I'm gonna say that it's not Qimir and it's not them. It's just someone else. It's someone new. And they're just trying to make us think that it's Qimir right now.
How do you think that they're making us think that though?
So there was a scene in this episode where, obviously, May's she's gonna kill Kelnacca. She's landed on Ko-Fi's homeworld, and they're getting ever so close to where he lives. And then next thing you know, she's like, "No, actually, change of heart. I'm gonna have myself in to Kelnacca and the Jedi. I'm gonna turn myself in. I'm gonna be good now. My heart's with Osha." That to me happened way too quick. It was just like out of nowhere.
But what's that got to do with him being the Sith, though?
What are your thoughts on that, just quickly? Do you agree or do you not?
Well, I agree to an extent and I disagree to an extent, right? So I look at it from two different angles. You've got to look at it from, chronologically, we're halfway through the series, and the reason why you think it's happened so soon is because the episodes are 30 minutes long. So there's not much story development, but I can go off on a tangent massively here and discuss something else. So
I don't mean so soon as in 4 episodes in or 2 episodes in. I mean so soon as in the actual episode itself, where we were like halfway through maybe, or maybe just over halfway, and she was just like, "No, actually, that sudden change was just quick, too quick for me." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But they've got to try and squash this story into half an hour, man. That's my point.
It's. I don't think it was actually my biggest issue.
Was your biggest issue when?
I think you've got 2 issues.
Was it? Well, can I guess one of them at least? Let me try.
Well, I've just said one of them, which was only a small thing. And what's the other one? Go on.
Is it when Sol says to May, "Where are you going?" She's like, "Do you want me to join the Jedi?" And he's like, "No." No. She's like she's trying so hard not to pretending that she doesn't want to be part of the Jedi, but clearly does. But it really annoyed me how obvious. You want me to join the Jedi again? Like it's these little snippets are winding me up, man. It happened. It's always her as well.
I get it. I know what you mean. I get it. I do know what you mean. But no, that's not an issue for me. It doesn't bother me. Didn't
It's
bother
the
me.
same as when it's always between her and Sol as well. And it was the same on the spaceship when he tested her. You know, it's not a mountain. Like why? Why is that dialogue?
Again, doesn't bother me at all.
It's still better than Phantom Menace dialogue, I guess.
I mean, anything is. It's not hard. Anyway,
and Attack of the Clones and
yes,
Revenge of the Sith.
Attack of the Clones is the worst for dialogue. Anyway, back to Qimir. So the reason why I've completely lost my train of thought. So yeah, that was my issue with May, my slight issue, right? So the reason why, for me, they've made it obvious that a little bit more, especially in this episode, that Qimir might be the Sith, is because when he went off before he got captured in that little trap by May, he went off for like 10 minutes, right? So in those 10 minutes, my theory is he went to kill Kelnacca. He killed Kelnacca because May told him she was done and she was going to turn herself in. And his thinking was, if I don't kill Kelnacca, May's not going to do it, and if I don't kill him, the Sith are going to be annoyed at me and probably kill me. So that's what he went. So that's why he scurried off halfway through to do that, so May couldn't. That's my theory. What are your thoughts on
that? How did he kill him?
With a slash there across his stomach. There you go. If he killed him, and with that wound that we've seen, it can only be from a lightsaber. However, yeah, I don't know. Well, that's a good reason then why we think Qimir is, because of that wound. If we didn't see that wound, that slash across Kelnacca, I don't think I'd be thinking, yeah, Qimir's a Sith. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but I thought this from episode 2. He was just too shady then, and he's
I know he was shady. I know we mentioned it. But again, is it too obvious? I don't know. How else could you have done that wound, that slash wound? You can't really do it with anything else, can you?
I don't think so.
But this is Qimir we're talking about. You never know.
No, but you say it like you know him so well.
Oh, there we go, man.
Is that about 10 minutes screen time?
Cheers, mate. Get the badge in, get the logo in.
This is the
Hey.
There you go. This is the this is what so leading on to what I was saying before, when I said I can go off on a tangent. This is one thing that's really annoying me, right? Is the fact that they've got all of these different characters, right? And they're spending 2 minutes with one character, 2 minutes with the next character, 5 minutes with one character, and like there's that many of them that were spread so thin that we're not really getting to know anybody. And I think that's one of the issues that I'm having at the minute, because the episodes are so short. You can't really invest in the characters. You're just getting snippets from each episode. It's really annoying me.
Who?
What do you mean, who? Everyone.
What character?
Everyone.
Everyone. All of them.
All of them. That Jackie Lon.
That's by design. That's by design, though, isn't it? And people still love these characters. I pretty much love all the characters. And like you said, at the same time, we kind of don't know that much about them.
Yeah,
but I think that's just by design, because there's only 8 episodes and the half-an-hour shows. How can you? How would they do it? How would they?
You just don't have that many characters. Or make more scenes and make the show longer. There's loads of series that have hour-long episodes.
You do your own Star Wars show. You're a hater as well. Yeah, that's a good point. I get it. I understand. I do understand. But hang on. Aren't you forgetting that if this show does well, which I hope it does, they're probably going to make another season or 2. So therefore, there will be more character development. So does that not change your mind a little bit, or?
No, because I still think like if that is the case, if they're going to end up making more seasons, then
Right. So,
yeah, that's what I said. Like if they end up making more seasons, then they need to realistically, I don't know, like sort out the story. Shouldn't be like just like introduce the characters throughout the seasons. Don't just. I mean, was it written to be one limited series, or was it planned to have more?
a little bit of both. I think it was initially announced as a limited series. However, apparently they've left it open a little bit at the end, where you could think, oh, actually, yeah, there'll be another season or two. And then I read something a week or two ago, maybe Leslie Headland, the creator, said that if the show does well and Disney want more, then yeah, why not? We'll do more. So I'm kind of 50-50. We'll see how it ends, but yeah, I know what you mean. I get it.
I think that's where my issue lies. Then is because they've not planned for it to go further forward. They can't prolong the story. It's just going to end. This story's going to end, and they might leave a little bit more to. They might have like someone's hand move at the end, like, oh, did it move? Did it not move? Like a little cliffhanger. Then they can bring it back, or they don't. But I don't think
Yeah,
that's.
or maybe they have planned to do more. Maybe they're just saying that it was a limited series and there might be potential for more depending on how well it does. So I assume then, because if it does do well, which is usually likely with Star Wars, that there would be a little bit of planning at least to do another season or two. But I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
But yeah, so that is a nice little segue into Kelnacca, because this was my second small issue with this episode. By the way, I thought this episode was not as good as the last. This might be the weakest episode so far, and a lot of people are saying it's the best.
Mm.
But overall, I don't think it is. I definitely don't think it's as good as the last one.
Yeah, but that's
For sure.
because we've got more character development in the last one. We've got more of a backstory to the characters.
Probably, yeah.
Whereas this one
This
was just.
last few minutes was wild, but apart from that, it was all right. It was okay.
That's my point.
But yeah,
How can one scene make an episode the best? Really? I mean, I can't really
it
comment
can't.
because of Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. Like those scenes made them episodes like the best by far. But I don't know. I think we need more story-based stuff rather than just nice cinematography or nice lighting.
Yeah, no, I think we're getting that. I'm still very much intrigued. There's still quite a bit of mystery. We're halfway through. For me, I'm still enjoying it. It's still good overall. I've still not worked everything out. I don't want to work everything out because it'll just spoil my surprise when it does that, whatever. So like, for me, I know you. I'm still enjoying it. It's still good. I just thought this episode was a little bit strange in some ways. But my second small issue with this was the Kelnacca death. So again, we think Qimir might have done it, or if it wasn't Qimir, then it would be the Sith that had done it. But again, if Qimir is the Sith, then it's the same person. So either way, it's Qimir or the Sith, or both.
Mm.
And I thought we were going to see. I thought that flashback scene, but then I think actually no, it couldn't have been the flashback scene with where we see him fight Tobin, because obviously Tobin's already dead. But I thought we'd see some kind of action between the Sith and Kelnacca. The fact that he's died and we can see that slash wound on his stomach, which I mentioned 5 times now already. That was the biggest disappointment for me, because it was just so sudden, kind of unexpected, and I thought, wait, Kelnacca's died already? Indara died straight away, first episode, Master Jedi. Tobin died, another Master Jedi died in episode 2, and then Kelnacca's Master Jedi's died in episode 4. And it's like, alright, you're killing them off, but we didn't even get to see him fight. We were going to get to see him fight in the flashback scene, but we don't know how good that's going to be. So it's got to be good now, because the fact that he's now dead That's 3 out of 4 gone. I was like, yeah, that was my biggest disappointment for me. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can agree with you there. I think I wanted more from him, but this is my point about like there's not enough time to make like enough time for everybody, you know. And one thing that's really annoyed me as well is they brought all these people in that are like quite big names or like interesting characters. I mean, there's quite a few interesting characters, don't get me wrong, but they're just killing them all off. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I think that's obviously been the whole point of the series. And since episode 1, we kind of knew there's 4 Jedi being hunted, and they're probably all going to die, maybe. 3 out of 4 are dead. I don't think Sol will die, but you never know. So again, it is a murder mystery, and we kind of knew this was going to happen. I think it's just been a case of how they've died. In Dara, I don't mind that, even though it was very sudden. It was first episode. I was a bit gutted, but we saw a bit of action. It was really good, and it was like, yeah. And then with Tobin, that Barish Vow, that poison that he took while he was in that meditated Barish Vow thing, that was there. And then now this one's the biggest disappointment for me. Yeah, I think obviously probably from the next episode we'll probably find out what happened to him.
I don't think we will.
You don't think it will?
No, I think he's just dead and that's it. I don't think they're going to show us how he died. I think that's it. I think you'll get a flashback scene of him where he fights.
He died, but...
Nah, I think we're just going to get a scene where it's just going to be a flashback scene with him and you'll see him fighting and then that'll be it. I don't think he's a major character in it.
Did you notice anything else with Kelnacca? It was pretty much at the start of the episode. Did you notice anything as he was going into his little house? Something in the background? No, nothing. No, I didn't pick up on it.
No, what are you going to tell me?
I picked up on it really pretty much straight away. I was like, that's interesting. So as he walks in at the start of the episode, as he walks past the camera, you see the symbols, the witch's symbols. That's the circles. So I was like, why has Kelnacca got witch symbols in his house? That's going to be interesting. I think that's probably something to do with the flashback scene that we're going to see in the next few episodes. Because that tells me then we're going to see the witches again. I don't know. But I thought that's interesting. That doesn't add up. So that's very mysterious. So I love that. Because when I clicked on that straight away and I was like, what? That doesn't add up.
There was a thing as well. Vanestra says.
Vanestra.
She says to Sol like, there's another one or something, and he's like, I didn't know. But the way she says it as if everyone knew that she was alive and that he left her there, and then she comes back, like obviously, and she's like killing them all, but it's all his fault because he left her there. But then he was like, I thought she died. So I feel like there's something around that as well. I think we're gonna get obviously the flashback scene. It's either going to be the next episode or the one after. I think potentially it's going to be the one after. And the more I think about it now, I think it's going to be the one after. Just because based on the fact that we're going to see what happened, and then we're going to find out that more than likely the Jedi knew that she was alive and left her there.
Yeah, I've just had a quick thought. I think. Just talk about Vanestra quick. I think she's probably my least favourite character.
It's because you've barely seen her.
Not just that, she keeps on giving Sol a bit of a hard time. Like in this episode, having a go at him and kind of undermining a little bit. I think she did my head in a bit, to be honest.
A bit power mad.
Yeah, but then I think, is Sol and the other Jedi, or maybe just him, is he trying to cover up something? Is there something there that we don't? I don't know. I've just had a quick thought because I don't think that he would do that because so far he's this genuine, compassionate, loving person almost, even as a Jedi.
So righteous, so just.
Yeah, and it's like, could it be covering something up? Maybe, but it's interesting.
That's what I mean. I think it is, and I think that's why Kelnacca fights them. I think he fights them all. So obviously the village gets destroyed, it gets set on fire, etc., etc. They make a decision to do something, maybe blow it up. Maybe they made it blow up even more, like we said. But then I think Kelnacca's going to disagree with them. He's definitely going to have a fight with them, and I think that's why he leaves the order. And Sol, I think he's going to end up covering it up. There's just that conversation they had was just a bit strange, like.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other highlights for you? Anything you didn't like before we talk about the last minute or two? The ending. The big cliffhanger.
I liked the little conversation between Yord and Osha when he was talking about the different languages. He was like, everyone learns this language, but I chose to use a different one. I thought that was a nice little touch to his character. I liked his character a lot more in this episode than I have done in the previous ones.
What do you mean? Are we not part of the Yord Horde fan club yet? Or I mean, I thought I was, but I'm sorry. That was a nice little sit. Also, no, just quickly, did you pick up on the little sexual chemistry between?
Yes. Jackie and
Osha and Jackie Long.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that's a thing?
I don't know. I hope it's not.
I don't think it will be a thing. I don't know. But I think Jackie fancies her.
I don't know though. I don't know if that is the case. I just think that I think they're trying to build the relationship up quickly in 30 minutes, and it's coming across the wrong way.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, listen, if they end up getting together, they end up getting together. It's not going to bother me that much. I just hope that they don't,
Yeah.
I feel like they'd be stronger as individuals rather than together. And I feel like I like them as like, I'd like them as like two best mates. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I picked up and I thought, oh, does she like Osha? But either way, it's funny. Anything else? The ending. Oh.
I thought you froze for a second. Then you just went.
Holy shizzle.
I know. It was nice.
Your thoughts.
I really liked how it. Do you know what? It had like a weird horror theme going through it when she was in the house and stuff, and she was like, "Oh no, he's here." It was really slow, but it was nicely done. Do you know what I mean? I really liked it. I love the lighting.
It was the best scene of the whole freaking episode. It was everything I wanted it to be. And this Sith, oh, by the way, the Sith's called Darth Teeth. He's got teeth on his stomach. So it's known as Darth Teeth or Darth Teeth. So Darth Teeth came out of the forest in the shadows because obviously May was in the Kelnacca's house. All the Jedi found her, told her to come out. Next thing you know, Darth Teeth's coming out of the woodworks. They turn around. Jackie says, "What is that?" And then
they all draw the lightsabers. Do you know what I was gutted about?
Wait, Osha is... Yeah, so Darth Teeth approaches Osha. Like,
yeah, because she stood at the back, yeah. And he was so happy to see her. Couldn't stop smiling.
Yeah, Darth Teeth. And then he... So they draw their lightsabers, wield their lightsabers, all 8 of them, I think. I think there's 8 altogether. And then Darth Teeth draws his red lightsaber and then just goes like that to Osha. And she flies off 10 miles that way. I was like, whoa, he's powerful. But wait. So I think then the Jedi draw the lightsabers, and then he just goes, "Have that!" Blows them all away. I was like, "Oh, this guy's powerful."
I'm
This
glad
guy
you're not doing the voice for it. That's for sure. Have that.
Have that. Yeah. And then it bloody ends. I was like, no, come on, don't do this to me. Big cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what do you think of that little force push? That was powerful. To do that to eight Jedi.
Yeah, well, we said that from the trailer, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
You had to be someone strong to be able to do that.
Yeah, we saw it in the trailer, to be fair.
I think we see the power when he just moves Osha out of the way with his fingers.
Yeah,
Gone.
Yeah, that was sick, that, to be fair. And then it ends, and I was just like, oh, that cliffhanger, man.
There's something, though. This is my point, right? This is why. If he's so evil and he has no connection to anything that's going on, why does he not just kill Osha there and then? Why does he not push her back into the rest of them? He moves her out of the way. It's by force, literally, and literally throws her with force, using the force. But do you know what I mean? He could have just annihilated her. And he stares at her.
The intention is there from May or that Sith Darth Thieves to kill Osha.
That's my point.
The main goal is for those 4 Jedi to die, and then May will become the Sith's apprentice.
Yeah, but my point being, what difference, right? Is
basically what's his connection between? What's his connection with May? Because what you're saying is, so either way, well, we think either way May would target and kill these 4 Jedi. But is she only doing it because she's been corrupted by the Sith who said, look, these Jedi invaded your homeworld 16 years ago. I'll wait to kill them now, and you should kill them, you should get revenge. So was it him that told her to do that? Or does she just wake up one day and think, I'm going to do that? We don't know.
No, I think he's probably fed her need for revenge because she thought that they both thought each other were dead, right?
True, yeah.
He's probably used that to drive his kind of agenda on her, and I think this is the other thing. If he were to kill Osha, then May would give in to hate, right? She would hate him at least, or whoever, and that's the path to the dark side, right? So why didn't he kill her? Or why didn't that person, that Darth Thief kill her? And the stare that they had when they looked at each other.
Yeah, that was sick.
Why was that? I don't know. I think there's more to it, and I think that's what.
That's what I mean. There's still so much mystery.
There's a relationship there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Already.
The last thing I want to touch on with him is, I was reading something before on Twitter that was interesting. So this person tweeted about Darth Teeth. This guy is Darth Maul of this series. So the question is, who is the Palpatine? Because even now, I still think he's the Palpatine, and May is going to be his apprentice.
Oh, do you know what? That's such a. No, he's like the Darth Maul. He's like the Count Dooku. He's probably using May to take over. He's probably going to get her as his apprentice and try and take over, right?
So you think there's somebody above him?
I don't know, but that's just made me think even more. Maybe it is, whatever his name is. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name.
Qimir.
Qimir, that's it, yeah.
Why you called him Quagmire the other day?
I didn't call him Quagmire. I called him Quagmire.
Quagmire.
That's how it's spelled.
It's Quagmire from Family Guy. Qimir, yeah, Qimir.
Qimir, yeah. So he could. That would make more sense. He could be the Palpatine. He could be good old Palps. He could be. young Palps back from the future. Like that's what it could be.
Wait, so you're saying Qimir could be young Palpatine, and he is the Darth Maul, and May is just. So that means
Not literally young Palpatine, but he could be the puppet master. Like
yeah.
that's my.
So that means this Sith then is needs to be killed because the rule of two, right?
But it's a rule of two.
So therefore, May's going to fight this guy, Darth Teefs, and that's why you see with a red lightsaber. Or is it his red lightsaber? We'll wait and find out.
I feel like we've seen that scene, yeah, where she grabs that red lightsaber, she uses the Force, pulls it in, grabs it. We're all thinking that's her joining him.
Quick.
But
it's not like it's like it comes with her quick, like this.
Yeah.
So.
But I actually think that scene, right, is her grabbing the lightsaber away from him to probably potentially try and save somebody.
Oh, sure.
Or Sol.
Interesting.
Definitely not Kelnacca, that's for sure.
Poor Kelnacca, man.
I'm gutted, you know. I'm gutted that I wanted more from him.
I am. The fact that we're only going to see him now in a flashback. Well, then if we see him in a few flashbacks, or just one flashback, but it's really good, then I think I could accept that. But the fact they just killed him off and we didn't get to see it, like, yeah, it's my biggest issue with this episode.
I think there'll only be one more flashback, and then that'll be it.
You think?
Yeah.
Right, so now, obviously, it ended on a cliffhanger, and this is now the most excited I've ever been to wait another week so far. Because I assume it's just going to carry on in episode 6. Episode 5. It's going to carry on, and there's going to be a duel between Sol and Darth Teefs, or I know there's going to be a duel between Jackie and Darth Teefs at some point.
Is there not a credit for him? Because he speaks, doesn't he? I'm sure he speaks in one of the episodes.
Who? Darth Teefs. That's a very good point. If there is a credit, I don't want to know. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
I want to know what his name is.
They've not. I don't think there's been. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it would have been leaked online. I've not seen it. To be fair.
Do you know what? They might not put him in the credits purely based on that fact that we don't know who he is. Because if they put in the credits, everyone's going to know.
Once we know who he is, that's when they'll do it. But then we might not know who he is until the last episode. So I think that's the reason. It's the good reason why they've hopefully not credited him. Because if they did, I think it would have been leaked online already, and I would have seen it on Twitter or X, as it's now called. Nice one, Elon. But yeah, I'm really. I mean, I've been quite excited every week, but I am like the levels have gone up 10 times now because I want to see some action now, and I think we're going to get it in the next episode and for the rest.
Were you rowing then? Oh wow, you've got the moves.
If that's rowing to you, then yeah, that's.
It was the motion that you did. You went like this originally.
So yeah, what do you think we're gonna get from episode 6? Do you think it's gonna be a straight continuation? We're gonna see some sick action. Give me your thoughts.
I'm really tied between, obviously, the way it ended, everyone wants to know what's going on. I feel like they're not going to show us. They're just going to do a flashback scene. I think that's how it's going to open. And also, yeah, do you know how you are?
I hope it goes on straight away from episode 5.
Do you reckon?
I think it will. I don't think it makes sense to do anything else.
Yeah, true. True. I also think that. Do you know when everyone kicks up? I'm kind of going back to the start. But do you know when everyone kicked up a fuss about the wording for Coruscant?
The wording?
Yeah, they put when it showed Coruscant and it said Coruscant, and everyone was like, "Why are you showing us that?"
Oh yeah, no, I quite like that. I like the location.
Yeah, it's for every single location that it shows.
Yeah.
So everyone knows the new planets and knows the name and stuff like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And when I seen it when we were obviously on that new planet, and I was like, Get it now.
So yeah, I mean,
I never had an
it's
issue
not
with
a
it in the first place, but
yeah, I like it. I think it's good.
mm,
I think it should always be in Star Wars. I think it should stay in Star Wars, even if it's a product that we recognise that we've seen before. Put the name up because again, not everybody's seen everything, and you're gonna get new fans all the time. So
Yep.
yeah, I quite like it. Right, so you think episode 6 is going to start with a flashback? Okay, interesting. I think it's going to be a continuation. I hope. But I guess we'll wait and see. Wait and see. But yeah, if you're watching us, let us know in the comments. You can send us an email to mancalorians@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts on the episode. Let us know what you think is going to happen in episode 6. Yeah, drop your comments. If you're listening to us, send us an email. We want to hear your thoughts. I think, for the most part, people enjoy. I've read a lot of people like their favourite episode. They loved it. But yeah, I don't think it was my favourite episode, especially not as well as last week.
a lot of people liked it because of the end, though. That's literally the saving grace.
The ending was really good, but obviously really annoying. It was a cliffhanger, but yeah, the ending was great.
And there were some nice little scenes in there.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, for sure. Again, my biggest issue was Kelnacca. The sudden death. We didn't see it happen. But we're going to see with a flashback or flashbacks, and I hope they do him justice because, yeah, I'm disappointed with that. But yeah, any other final thoughts? Sorry, before we wrap up.
No, I just hope that I can grow some hair back by next time.
Your beard.
Yeah, I want to look like Kelnacca next time you see me.
This time, well, it'll only be like a week away, so I'm not sure about that.
Shaved in protest of Kelnacca dying. That's what this is. No Kelnacca, no hair.
Say that again.
No Kelnacca, no hair.
No Kelnacca, no hair. I need to get that hashtag going on Twitter right now. Oh, that's hilarious. Hashtag bring back Kelnacca. Oh, no Nacca, no hair.
No Nacca, no hair. Oh, I'm not even gonna.
That's a new TikTok video. Boom.
There
done.
you go.
But yeah, all good. Yeah, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Send us an email. Let us know your thoughts of the series so far and this episode. We will definitely read everything and we'll obviously answer any questions on the show if we have any. But again, you can subscribe to us on YouTube if you watch us, the Mancalorians. Please like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, all the works. If you listen to us, you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music and YouTube Music as well. If you are listening to us, drop us a 5-star review. Give us a review. Let us know what you think so far. And if there's anything you want to discuss over the next few weeks, a few months, apart from the obvious things like the Acolyte and Star Wars Outlaws, please let us know and we will take everything on board. But yeah, thanks for all the support so far. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
See you later.